Hi, my name is Ray. Hopefully there's not too much background noise from the open window. But this is a meme that's going around on Tumblr about accents. If I seem like I'm squinting, it's because I have the questions taped to a paper next to the camera. My Tumblr username is More Art Than Time, which looks really weird because it's all squished together. Where I'm from is originally Bellingham, Washington. I lived there until I was 21 years old, and then I moved to Richmond, Virginia, across the country, and I've lived here for 13 years. My parents are originally from Michigan, so I probably have that influence in my accent too. But also growing up in Bellingham, Washington, we were real close to Canada, so we had a lot of influence from British Columbia. I grew up watching British TV, so my accent is probably all over the place. When I talk to my parents, I can tell I sound slightly more southern than I used to. I can tell the difference between my accent and theirs. It says, pronounce the following words: ant, roof, root, theater, iron, salmon, lots of those in Washington, caramel, fire, water, New Orleans, pecan, both, again, probably, Alabama, lawyer, coupon, mayonnaise, pajamas, cot, naturally, aluminum, unless you're being goofy, and then it's aluminium, GIF, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce it GIF, it's graphics image format. GIF doesn't make sense. Tumblr, crackerjack, doorknob, envelope, GPOY. I don't know why anyone would say that out loud. It's an internet acronym. It's shorthand for typing. Why would you pronounce that? What is it called when you throw toilet paper on a house? That's TPing. Happened to my house once. What is a bubbly carbonated drink called? My parents called it pop, but they're from the Midwest. I had a boyfriend from Connecticut at one point, and I called it pop, and he didn't know what I was talking about. So I started learning to say soda. So now I call it soda, and have for probably a good 15-20 years. What do you call gym shoes? Didn't I just say gym shoes? Tennis shoes, sneakers, any of the above. What do you call your grandparents? I don't have any anymore. I've only ever had one set. I called them Grandpa and Grandma. I'm not sure what that question's asking for, unless it's asking for cutesy nicknames. I grew up across the country for most of my family because my parents moved across the country from Michigan before I was born to Washington, so I grew up an only child with just my parents. The rest of my family was across the country. And that probably has had an influence on my accent too, that I didn't communicate with the rest of my family back in Michigan a whole lot. What do you call the wheeled contraption in which you carry groceries at the supermarket? That's a complex way of wording it. It's a grocery cart or a shopping cart, or grocery if you're feeling British. What is the thing you change the TV channel with? I don't. I have an old TV. I use little buttons and dials on the screen. Otherwise it's a remote. Choose a book and read a passage to it. I have to read to the book or to the camera? Oh, so many copies of Treasure Island. All that night we were in a great bustle getting things stowed in their place, and boatfuls of the squire's friends, Mr. Blandley and the like, coming off to wish him a good voyage and a safe return. We never had a night at the Admiral Benbow, when I had half the work, and I was dog-tired when, a little before dawn, the boatswain sounded his pipe, and the crew began to man the capstan bars. I might have been twice as weary, yet I would not have left the deck. All was so new and interesting to me. The brief commands, the shrill note of the whistle, the men bustling to their places in the glimmer of the ship's lanterns. Good enough. We have an entire shelf full of Treasure Island here. That's my girlfriend's collection. I love her. I got the pirate stuff up here. Which brings us to one of the later questions, be a wizard or a vampire? Pirate. Do you think you have an accent? I would say that pretty much everyone has an accent, unless you're speaking English, the Queen's. But even that, I'm sure, has mutated from the original. There's no such thing as no accent. My parents are from the Midwest. I probably have as little as an accent as it's possible to have in some ways, but I still definitely do have an accent. The only place I've ever had anyone tell me I had an accent was in Bellingham, Washington, where I grew up, before I had moved across the country. So I really don't know what to make of that. And do you know anyone on Tumblr in real life? My girlfriend's on Tumblr. I live with her, so yes. My friend Mel is also on Tumblr, and we've seen each other a few times. So I think that's all the people on Tumblr I know in real life. Bonus ending to the video, I have a new sword. This is called a khopesh. It's an Egyptian design. It's very cool. I got this made on commission. First time I'm showing it off. So there you go. There's my accent video.